Last time, we talked about Pam Hupp, the infamous lady who allegedly killed her best friend Betsy Faria just a few days after she became her life insurance beneficiary. But instead of her, it was Betsy's husband Ross who got thrown behind bars. Check out the links in the description below for part 1 of our series. But as I've mentioned before, Betsy's death wasn't Pam's last brush with crime. Would this woman ever run out of luck? Let's find out. Pam got away with $150,000 from Betsy's insurance money, and that she was supposed to give it to her daughters. About a week before Ross Faria's November 2013 trial, she set up a $100,000 trust fund for the daughters. According to Pam, she felt pressured by the law enforcement and Betsy's family, so she set up the trust fund to clear any motive she might have for Betsy's death. But why did she set up the trust fund just now? Betsy had died almost a year ago. According to Pam, her mother had just died of Alzheimer's, so she had to take care of that. Okay, that's a valid point. Who would lie about their mother's death? Well, Pam did. Let's talk about Pam's mother, Shirley Newman. A widow since 2000, Shirley lived alone in a third-floor apartment in an assisted living community. While it's true that she had Alzheimer's, that's not what killed her. On October 29, 2013, Pam drove her mother home after a trip to the hospital for back pain. The next day, a housekeeper found Shirley dead below her balcony, with the balcony's steel balusters either bent or broken. Investigation revealed that she had died from blunt trauma to the chest resulting from a fall. She had 8 times the average dose of the sedative zolpidem in her blood based on the autopsy. On one hand, we can look at this incident as an accident. Due to dementia, Shirley could have forgotten to drink her medication, so she drank more. She could have been dazed enough to crash through the balusters and fall to her death. However, there are a few things to consider. Here's an image of Shirley's balcony. The guardrail was intact, but there was an opening big enough for a human body to pass through. Also, there weren't any marks on her body from colliding with the balusters. The show Dateline NBC, which was covering Pam Hupp's story, consulted a structural engineer about the matter. And this is what he said.
It would take a lawnmower or a vehicle to cause that much bending and pull out.
In short, it's unlikely that Shirley's death was an accident. Once again, the spotlight falls upon Pam Hupp. She was the last person to see her mother alive. Moreover, she had a motive: her mother's insurance money. During the investigation on Betsy's murder, she said these words.
And he said it looked like she'd committed suicide.
While the police investigated Shirley's death, they never found Pam suspicious, just like in Betsy's case. But in 2017, the medical examiner changed the manner of Shirley's death from accidental to undetermined due to a series of events. We'll discuss them in a bit. Before we continue, let us know if you like what you see so far by giving us a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, as it would really help a lot in making this channel grow. Thanks a lot. Let's dive back in, shall we? In February 2014, St. Louis Post-Dispatch published an article alleging that Betsy's daughters had sued Pam Hupp over the insurance money. Pam has changed her story, claiming that Betsy had intended to keep all the money for herself. In a deposition, Pam admitted that she only made it look like she would give the money to the girls. Since the trust fund was revocable, she simply revoked it shortly after Ross's trial. The article also revealed the romantic relationship between Mike Lang, the captain of investigations, and Leah Askey, the prosecutor during Ross's trial. It also noted Pam's inconsistent statements during the investigation, which she later attributed to memory problems. Really? Moreover, 2 jurors from the case told the media that the judge, Chris Manny-Mayer, had suppressed evidence. Based on the allegations, Ross was granted a retrial. This time, his team was allowed to present evidence implicating Pam as Betsy's killer. At the end of the trial, he got acquitted. Now that Ross's name has been cleared, the hit is on Pam. Let's just say that she's the killer. She could either turn herself in, make a run for the hills, or pin the crime once more on someone else. Based on the next event, it seems she had settled for the last option. On August 16, 2016, Pam called 911.
Hey, hello, there's someone broken in my house. Help!
What's the address you're at?
Help!
Allegedly, Pam had shot a man named Louis Gumpenberger 5 times out of self-defense. She claimed that Gumpenberger had assaulted her and demanded Ross's money. However, Pam's story doesn't line up. You see, Gumpenberger had struggled physically and mentally after a drunken car crash in 2005. He couldn't speak and walk well. As for the assaulting, well, neighbors described him as someone too weak to hammer a nail. Moreover, the crash also rendered his left hand useless. Given his state, was he even capable of launching a life-threatening attack? I don't think so. Also, a witness named Carol Alford came forward, claiming that a woman posing as a Dateline NBC producer had approached her, offering $1,000 to reenact a 911 call from the show. According to Carol, the woman had initially asked her if she babysits and then offered her the job. Suspiciously, the woman had no business card, no camera crew, no nothing. While Carol had initially agreed, she thankfully had changed her mind and filed a police report instead. Security camera footage revealed a woman in a 2016 GMC Acadia, convincing Carol to come with her. The woman was none other than Pam. Another witness, Brent Charlton, also reported to the police that Pam made her a similar offer. The police theorized that Pam had lured Gumpenberger to her house, then shot him, and planted items to make it look like Ross tried to have her killed. In Gumpenberger's pocket, police found a handwritten note with specific instructions to kill Pam and 9 $100 bills. 4 of the 9 bills had serial numbers lining up sequentially to a bill found in Pam's dresser. A week later, Pam was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action. And yet, this is not where the drama ends. When the investigators left Pam in the investigation room to contact her lawyers, she grabbed a pen and hid it in her jeans. She was then escorted to the bathroom. A few moments later, a commotion occurred. Pam had tried taking her own life by stabbing her neck and wrists with the pen. However, it did not absolve her from the crime. In June 2019, Pam used an Alford guilty plea instead of fighting her charges. In entering this plea, she claims her innocence but concedes that the prosecution has enough evidence to convict her. In doing so, Pam had also waived her right to trial. She claimed she did this so that her family would not have to witness an ugly trial. While this might look like an act of conscience on her part, taking an Alford plea has its perks. It allows her to dodge the death penalty. In exchange, she gets sentenced to life in prison without parole. Up unto this day, the investigation on Shirley Newman's death hasn't been reopened yet. However, given that the medical examiner had considered her death wasn't accidental, we might still see Pam charged for murdering her mother. Last July 12, 2021, Pam was charged with the murder of Betsy Faria and armed criminal action, to both of which she pleaded not guilty. On September 8, 2021, the armed criminal action charge was dropped. Still, she has to face the murder charge. In addition, the lawsuit filed by Betsy's daughters against Pam was dismissed. On the other hand, their father, Ross, had received over $2 million worth of settlement after suing Leah Askey and investigators who initially handled Betsy's case. And finally, Ross's daughters had apologized to him. Was Pam really that cunning to make it this far? Or was the investigation so lousy she almost got away with murder? I suppose it's safe to say that her statements have more holes than a block of Swiss cheese. Just by connecting the dots, it's not that hard to see that Pam is most likely Betsy's killer. And yet, the investigators failed to see that. Otherwise, Ross wouldn't have to waste almost 4 years in prison. Pam's mother and Gumpenberger would probably still be alive today. What do you think? Share your thoughts by commenting below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notifications to get front row seats to watch Canon's mind-blowing videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.